Welcome to your piano lesson. If you're here for the first time, I am Gianluca Fronda. If you want to discover interesting facts about me, you can watch an introduction video of the channel. I'm leaving the link in the description below. If you like the content of my channel, don't forget to subscribe. I'm aiming to publish 2 weekly tutorials. Now let's dive into the lesson. After noticing that many students are still having problems understanding the different use of the semiquaver, the 16th notes, in a simple time and in a compound time signature. Which one is the simple time? Simple times are, for example, the 4/4, the 3/4, the 2/4, the time signatures having the 4 underneath. And which ones are the compound time signatures? The compound time signatures are those having the 8 underneath, like 3/8, 6/8, 9/8, 12/8. We have 4 compound time signatures because I should mention also 1/4 that is not that much used. The 16th, the semiquavers, have to be intended in 2 different ways, depending on which one is the case, if simple time indeed or compound time. In a simple time, if you are considering the crotchet, the quarter note, as a beat, as a count, the semiquaver obviously is the quarter of count. You need 4 semiquavers to make 1 beat, and following, for example, my advices, you should understand that the semiquaver will have to fit in any of the 4 elements of the counting 1 and A, 2 and A, 3 and A, 4 and A, whichever obviously is the case, if 2, 3 or 4 beats. When you are in a compound time signature, since the quaver is the beat, is the count, in the simple time the quaver was the half count. In the compound time signature, the 8th note, the quaver, is the count. Indeed, 3/8 means that you have 3 quavers. 6/8 means that you have 6 quavers. And they are, in the slow tempos, they are to be intended like the beats, the counts, the units. Same as the crotchet, the quarter note, was in the simple times. And obviously in the compound time signature then, the 16th, the semiquaver, will be simply identified by splitting in half the counts, and, for example, if you have 3/8, where there are semiquavers as well, instead of simply counting 1, 2, 3, you do 1 and 2 and 3 and each semiquaver, or the single semiquaver that you can find every now and then, will take any of these 2 elements that you get by splitting in halves the beats. But let's dive into the lesson to understand even more. And let's write now, in this page, simple times. In this one we write compound time signatures. We have understood that for simple time we have to intend 2/4, 3/4, 4/4. As I said in the introduction, I should use also 1/4, but we don't use it. I mean, we don't use that much. It is used in some advanced composition, but we can omit in these examples. For compound time signatures we should intend the 3/8, 6/8, 9/8, 12/8. I explained properly the difference existing between the simple times and the compound time signatures in my theory lessons, and I invite you to watch those tutorials if you have never done it before. Let's use just one time signature out of these 3 simple times that I have. Firstly, I will use a piano stave, ground stave, or ground staff, treble clef, bass clef. Obviously I can use just one of the 2 staves for the example. And we use, for example, something in 2/4 to make it easy. Short example. On the other side I'm going to use, out of these 4 compound time signatures, just the 6/8. That is indeed the relative compound time signature of the 2/4. And also this topic has been clearly explained in my theory lessons. So 6/8. Now, if I have in a 2/4 some semiquaver, I will maybe write a couple of bars, one made of a crotchet, for example, crotchet, so 2 crotchets. I'm writing the the rest sign on the left, just to be exact. And then some quaver and 4 semiquavers. Regarding the compound time signature, I keep, same key signature, and we are in C major, nothing specific, no sharps, no flats, and I can do, for example, maybe here I will use 3 bars, maybe minimum, yeah? I can do dotted crochet, and I complete the first bar. Left hand as well, silence. Then I do some quaver, and in the third bar I'm using examples of I'm using some rhythm using semiquavers. I can do, for example, da, 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 da. Dotted quaver, semiquaver, and quaver. To use something that is quite tricky to be easily understood. Let's start from the simple times now. So, this example firstly will sound. How should you count? Because of the semiquavers, as I have always explained, you should split the beat in 4 equal parts, doing 1 A and A, 2 A and A, 1 A and A, 2 A and A. So the counting has to always refer to the potential subdivision of the beat in 4 equal parts. You see, I am drawing the semiquavers. 4 semiquavers for the counting 1 A and A, 2 A and A. You do the same here. 1 A and A. I think in this way it's quite clear. You see, 2 semiquavers to the first quaver, 2 semiquavers to the second quaver, 1 A and A, 1 A and A, 1 A and A. And obviously here they are clear and visible. In this way it's really clear that in a simple time the semiquavers are quarters of count. But what happens if I have semiquavers, these ones, in a compound time signature like 6/8? We have understood that, and we have clarified that in a 6/8 the quaver is the count, because I have 6 quavers. I have told you in one of my tutorials that 6/8 could be even written, same as all the other ones, like 6 over a quaver. This is the way in the past they were writing. You see? 6 over a quaver, a single quaver. I can do the same with the 3/8. 3 over a quaver. 9 over a quaver. 12 over a quaver. Don't mind my handwriting, but anyways, 3 over a single quaver for the 3/8. 6 over a single quaver for the 6/8. 9, number 9 over a quaver for the 9/8. 12 over a quaver for a 12/8, because quaver means eighth, or 8 means quaver. We are referring to the value of the single count. And I was saying, in this specific case, I have to remember that the beat is worth a quaver, the count is the quaver. So the dotted crochet won't be simply intended like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It would be okay if I have just quavers. But since I have semiquavers, what do? I simply split the beat, that is the quaver, in halves. And now I write this bar in a better way, yeah? I write it underneath. Look, for example, let me make it clear and quite big. I write the whole one again, leaving lots of space because I need them to split it in 6 equal parts, and you will understand why. Another thing that I want to clarify, because I have noticed that sometimes, especially parents, they get confused and they don't know how to help the children because they have in mind a different concept, the one of the real distance, physical distance in between the elements. So it seems that they are thinking in terms of centimeters in between, and they know that if they notice that the distance in between the notes, from the physical point of view, from the one of the length of the distance, is different, sometimes they get confused. In music, the value of the note depends on the element itself. For example, if it's made a circle, a vertical line and dot, this is a dotted crochet. That's all. Worth 3 quavers or 6 semiquavers. But you don't have to think that the distance in between the notes, if sometimes there are 2 centimeters and 1, and the notes are identical in terms of quavers, they might be different in terms of value. No, no, no. The distance, the physical distance, in terms of centimeters, doesn't affect at all the value of the note. So, here we are. Now I want to draw the subdivisions underneath. You will be counting, in this case, in this way. I draw the semiquavers. Look. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and you could even say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6 and we have 6. It depends if you like to count twice 3, as I always suggest, or to count going on doing 4 and 5 and 6 and indeed, here we are. So we do 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and then here same story. In this bar we have 1 quaver, 1 end, then 2 semiquavers, 2 end. You see? They are going exactly here. And then 3 end. And then I have 1 end, 2 end. I will clarify even more this one. So, one by one, yeah? And then I can even write in a different place. I can take maybe the single bars and maybe just this one, it is the trickiest one. Let's try to see from close. So here I have a quaver and it is 1 end. These are 2 semiquavers, 2 end. This is another quaver, 3 end. Now this is a dotted quaver. It is. The quaver itself would be 1 end. Since there is the dot that is adding half, that is a semiquaver, we'll take also the start of the second beat. So the note itself, this G dotted quaver, will be 1 and 2. The semiquaver will be played on the end of 2 and the last quaver obviously will take 3 end. Now I take this bar and I write it better. And I can even write here, very close to underneath maybe the one in 2/4. So I do. Skipping completely the first 2 bars, I leave a bit of space, yeah? And at some point I write down, much better, the last one. The very last one. I can even write underneath a kind of a structure like this one, made of blocks of semiquavers. Obviously blocks of 6 semiquavers. Look what I mean. You see? You can clearly see. Obviously they are handwritten, but these are the hidden semiquavers that you need for the counting. 1 and 2 and 3 and. You see? 1 and for the first one, 2 and for the 2 semiquavers, 3 and for the last note of this first block. Then here, pay attention. I think that now it will be very, very clear to you. So the last block of 3 notes, of which the first one is a dotted quaver, this one is a semiquaver, and this is a quaver, will be 1 and 2 for the first note, end of 2 for the second note, that is a semiquaver, and then 3 and for this one. The whole one will be in this way. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I think that more clear than this, it's impossible. I want to play for you just 1 second, the one in the compound time. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 the one in simple time was 1 A and A 2 A and A 1 A and A 2 A and A. The one in 6/8 even slower. 1 and 2 and 3 and 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 the one in simple time even slower. 1 A and A 2 A and A 1 A and A 2 A and A. I really hope it is finally clear for you everything. I really hope that you have finally understood now the difference existing in between semiquavers used in a simple time and semiquavers used in a compound time signature. Probably you are a child or a teenager, you are understanding how relative are things, how the meaning, how the rule, how the value, how the power of something can change according to the situation. Nothing is the same, always. Has to be always referred to the specific case in which it is used. Indeed, in this case, the semiquaver moves from being a quarter of beat in a simple time to be a half beat, half count in a compound time signature. But indeed, I really hope that you have finally understood now the difference. Feel free anyways to comment to let me know how things are going, if you have really understood everything, or if you would need anyways any further explanation. In case you want to have a private lesson with me, please refer to the instructions in the About tab of my channel. Just one more thing to mention: if you have really enjoyed my tutorial, and if you are really enjoying my tutorials, I would really appreciate if you mind the new super thanks button that you find underneath. It's very easy to be found. It's either visible or you can find it clicking on the 3 dots. If you're really appreciating my content, my videos, if you enjoy this tutorial and all the tutorials that I have on my YouTube channel, and you want to support me, I would really appreciate. I hope that you understand how much work there is behind every single tutorial, because it's not only about filming or playing. The editing process, it's quite time consuming, and then the upload and the editing of the description and all is behind the video itself, the setting, the YouTube setting. It's quite time consuming. I'm doing with all my heart because I really love what I do. Music is my life, and probably you understood how much passion I really put into all I do. So your super thanks would be really appreciated. Thank you very much. If it's the first time you're landing on my channel thanks to this video, don't forget to subscribe, and see you in the next one. All the best.